Hello, my name is Mark with Scared Shiftless, and what we have here is a 1955 Chevy two-door hardtop. It's one of the Tri-Five cars, 55, 6, and 7. And what we're going to do is we've got a big block going in this car with a big blower on it. We expect it to produce maybe from 800 to 1,000 horse, but we don't quite have the turning radius that we'd like to have. So we actually contacted Jim Meyer. He sold us this unit. This is an independent front suspension one. The gasser is basically the same except for the way it's attached. One has leaf springs, one has some springs. And I'm going to install this. I'm going to show you some key critical points. The first thing you're going to want to know is it's about precision. We have a T-square here, we have a straight rule, we have a square. We're going to use these tools a lot during this process. We are going to take some measurements from every angle. We're going to cross-reference. We're going to go from the straight. We're going to go from our transmount, just everywhere we can. Because it's critical to get this thing square to your frame so you're not dog-legged down the road and things like that. You know what? So why don't we get started on this thing? Our first measurements are going to be right here at the back of our body mount. Let's get started. Our first measurement, we're going to want to make sure that everything is consistent. We're going to measure from the bottom of our frame rail to the floor. We're going to mark it right here. It's 11 inches. That's our first. What we do on one side, we're going to do on the other side. Let's go to the next measurement. Our second measurement is our frame horn. This is where our bumper brackets bolt to. So we're going to use this forward hole. We measure with our square, it's 17.5 to center. Let's go to the next. Since our body is mounted to the frame, we don't need to actually weld in a bar across here to keep the frame rail separated and sturdy. If you have a loose frame, your body's not mounted, you're going to want to put at least an inch square tubing in here, maybe top and bottom, to keep those frame rails apart. We're utilizing the body. So what we've done is we've brought up a piece of steel to the back of our body mounts. And you can clamp these. I prefer to weld them, so when you're getting some measurements and you're jocking it back and forth, it doesn't move. So we actually have it on our driver's side, back of our body mount on our frame, passenger side, touching on the back of our body mount. And we got it welded in so it doesn't bounce around. Now that we have that secured, I like to use a T-square here. I can move it back and forth. I can get some really good reference points. The first reference point I'm going to make is where my core support is going to be. I'm going to take this up here. I'm going to look at it. I'm at about 32 1/16. If I raise this here to a straight edge, I'm at 32 1/4, exactly as the instructions say in the Jim Meyer instruction sheet. So I'm good there. I know that I'm square across. My core support is good. Next, what we're going to do is figure out where we're going to cut our lines here. Let's go there. Next, what we're going to do is Jim Meyer wants us to go from this point 4 inches forward towards our core support. I marked 4 inches. I'm going to simply set that up there. And I'm going to mark it, make sure it's square. And I'm going to mark our 4 inches. Now I can take my square, come here, straight from the floor. If you're on a table, I'm going to come across here. And that'll be our inside cut line. We're going to come on the other side, and we're going to do the same thing. Again, we went 4 inches from our reference point. We're going to draw our cut line. What we do on this side, we're going to do exactly on the other side. Okay, so this concludes part one of probably a couple different parts on our subframe. And here's the tip of the day. When you're using your ruler, make sure you're not rating it in millimeters. Some of the newer tapes are in inches and in millimeters. So you know what? We have one all inches, old school for an old school car. Thank you. My name is Mark with Scared Shiftless, and thank you for watching.